Good morning, great Americans. It's another great American video from the bunker and Terrio here. So, one thing that bothers me about the most, the older I get, one thing that bothers me the most about elections is how much people forget. Every 4 years, the same old crap, the same old previously debunked bullshit has to get debunked all over again. The same old little lies and trickeries come out of like cockroaches, they come out of the crevices and the darkness. And of course, 4 years later, kids who were maybe freshmen in high school when a president was elected are now 18 years old and able to vote. And so the whole thing, and it starts all over again. And maybe younger people who were not interested in voting are now interested in voting. And so all the old bullshit is new to them, right? And the hucksters know this. And so a lot of this stuff just regurgitates itself and it gets so damned old. Old lies, debunked lies, and they're always lies about Republicans. It's always the same old lies. And of course, with Trump, we have an entirely new, fresh set of lies because the left suffers from Trump derangement syndrome so badly that they have just made up so many lies. I mean, I wonder how many kids were in high school, were freshmen or sophomores in high school who heard about the January 6th insurrection, which of course there was no insurrection. That's a gigantic lie. But who heard about that and have actually gone through school and now become adults ready to vote with this imbibing this propaganda. I mean, now we have a generation of kids who probably actually believe those lies. So these lies all need to be debunked. But I'm going to deal with an important one right now because once again, as before, we have these liars coming out of and one of them are these so-called Republicans for Harris, or these so-called Republicans like Liz Cheney, all these people who claim that Trump is a bad man and they claim it's better to. First of all, you cannot be. There is no way that you can possibly be a true conservative and Republican in your mind and vote for a left-wing extremist and socialist and quasi-Marxist as Kamala Harris. You just can't do it. If you hear a Republican or a self-proclaimed conservative say, "I'm casting my vote for Kamala Harris," then they're liars. They are pure liars. You just can't do it. It's like being a hardcore vegan. I mean, a really hardcore vegan, and then say, "Well, I'm going to eat meat because I don't know. I got poison ivy the other day, and I got mad at the plant, so now I'm going to eat meat, even though it's just not going to happen." All right, a vegan can get as mad as they want to at some other vegan, but they're not going to start eating meat because of it. Okay, and so, and it's the same way with this Christians for Harris, for Kamala. It's a non sequitur. You can't be Christian and vote for a Democrat these days. Again, it's like the vegan. I saw that on Twitter, by the way. Some guy, it's like vegans for meat. It's like Jews for Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Communists for capitalism. In fact, that's what happens when you're a Christian and you vote for Kamala. You're essentially saying, "I'm a Christian for Satan," right? Because the Democrats, have satanic policies from abortion to sodomy and to the whole bit. But anyway, I'm digressing. So today the focus is Trump and remembering why Trump became our Republican nominee and became our Republican president. I take you back in a time machine, back to the Obama presidency. And Republicans were really just morally distraught of not morally, but they were just down in the dumps Oh, they were demoralized. That's the word I was looking for. They were demoralized, just down in the dumps. It's just like all the things that Republicans promised to do just never happened, and they kept saying we'll do this, and then they started while Obama was president. Republicans would say, well, if we could get the House back, then maybe we could overturn Obamacare and we could do this and that. So we gave them the House, and they failed. And then they said, well, maybe if we can't, we need the House and the Senate, right? So then we gave them the House and the Senate, and they still didn't keep their promises. And then, oh no, we need the House and the Senate and the presidency, right? And so we gave them that with Trump. And then thanks to the traitor John McCain, they still didn't overturn Obamacare because John McCain was a little petty bitch and he flip-flopped on his vote, and he was the one deciding vote in the Senate that moved from overturning Obamacare to keeping Obamacare. So you see, Republicans don't keep their promises. So anyway, prior to Trump, the mood of the average Republican near the end of the Obama era presidency was, we're done. We are done. We are through. We are tired of the Republican Party. They do nothing but lie. They do nothing but let us down. They say one thing, but then when they get in office, they kiss the ass of the Democrats because they're scared. They kiss the ass of the media, which Trump definitely does not do. They kiss the ass of the media because they feel like if they just kiss that media's ass enough, maybe they'll be nice to the Republicans. Of course, that's never going to happen. It's a fool's errand. But that's what people like Liz Cheney do. They figure they're going to get on the side. Maybe the left wing corrupt fake news media will treat me nice if I start jumping on some Democrat bandwagons, and it never happens. It never happens. You can't. It's like trying to tell Satan, "Hey, I'll make a deal with Satan." Satan will take from you, and then he'll screw you. It's like Hitler and Stalin. They make a deal. They split Poland, and then Hitler turns around and screws Stalin and takes the rest of it. You can't make a deal with the devil. So near the end of the Obama presidency, Republicans were fed up. The rank and file Republican voter was fed up, and they said, we are not going to vote for Republican. We're just going to let the Republican Party die. We're tired of getting taken advantage of. Maybe some new party will crop up, or maybe we'll vote libertarian or whatever, but we're just not voting. We're going to teach them a lesson. That was the mood of the rank and file Republican near the end of the Obama presidency. And then came Trump. He was everything that we had wished Republicans would be. He fought the media. He didn't kiss the media's ass. He fought the media and called them fake news. Right? He had all kinds of nice nicknames to belittle leftists and Democrats and stuff. I mean, he's a fighter. He's a businessman. He's a fighter. He was the thing that America, for decades, Americans have always said, oh, politicians are liars. If only we had a businessman. If only we had a business. Well, here he is. And even though he was not a dyed-in-the-wool conservative, right? And we knew that. But he made some promises, and he said, you know what? He goes, I've got some conservative beliefs. I promise you that if you elect me, here's a list of judges I'm going to choose from for Supreme Court, for example. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And he kept his promises. The only promises he did not keep were the ones that Democrats fought tooth and nail and blocked, like the total wall. But he kept his promises. And but anyway, so back to where I was. So the Republicans, so here comes Trump, and so the rank and file Republican voters say, okay, we're going to give this one more chance. We're going to vote Republican. We're going to give them the White House. We've given them the House. We've given them the Senate. We're going to vote for Trump, and we're going to give them the White House, and we'll see what happens. That, by the way, is why Trump defeated like 15 other great Republicans. I mean, good Republicans like Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, There was Mike Huckabee. There was a lot of good Republicans on that stage with Trump. He beat them all, and the stupid idiots in the press are going, how is that possible? How could this outsider with no political experience at all, he was a bit of a womanizer, a bit of a partier, right? He doesn't really have conservative bona fides, right? How is he wiping all these guys out? I just gave you the answer. I told you why he wiped them all out, because the rank and file Republicans were sick and tired of the Republican Party. The Republican Party keeps breaking their promises, letting them down. Trump comes along. He's a totally different animal. They're going to give him one more chance. That is why. That is why Trump. So this is the answer to many questions that people in the press don't get. How is it that Trump has such a loyal, huge following, filling up stadiums, filling up rallies? That is why he won the hearts of the disgruntled rank and file Republicans who all other Republican politicians had let them down. He won their hearts. He won their loyalty. He fought back. He kept his word. He did what we had always wanted Republicans to do, is to fight back against the press, fight back against the left, and keep his word. That's why that also explains why he beat all those other people on the stage. Okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I get it, but so many people just didn't seem to get it. So today, here we are. And here they come again, all the goofy, stupid little Republicans, or fake Republican rhinos like Bill Kristol and all these idiots saying, oh, we're going to vote for Kamala. They're lying, they're frauds. Don't listen to them. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. They're frauds, they're fakes. I mean, the worst one is that Morning Joe on MSNBC. That guy is such a fraud and a liar. He was never a real conservative. That man, I swear, I wish I could meet him because I'd just love to crack him. There's a dude that really needs a good ass whooping. I mean, I'm serious, man. That dude is so crude and such a liar and says such horrible things about Trump. He just needs ass beaten, but that's another story. So anyway, that's what brings us to Trump. And then what happens? We all know that the 2020 election was stolen. And the only reason Trump so he won in 2016, he won in 2020, he's going to win in 2024. That's why they're cheating. That's why the Democrats are cheating. They've got 50 million lawsuits against him. They're trying to throw him in jail. People are trying to kill him. People are trying to shoot him. They're trying to bankrupt him. They're doing every dirty trick in the book. He beats Biden at the debate. What do? Oh, well, he's going to beat Biden. Let's pull him out. Let's stick in Kamala. I mean, like Nazis. And once again, Trump won the nomination process. We had an election. He went up against Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, and a few others, and Trump won again, fair and square, because he's got the following, and blah, blah, blah. And did the Democrats hold an election? No. Like the Nazis they are, they pulled out their guy. They installed Kamala with a nice Sieg Heil, and so that's why the Republican Party is Trump's party, because he earned by deeds, not just by words, but with deeds, the loyalty of all the Republicans who were getting ready to say fuck you to the Republican Party and just let the party die. I mean, you've got, Mitt Romney. I mean, come on. These people are little pussies, rhinos. They kiss the ass of the press. They kiss the ass of Democrats who are evil. We love Trump. The Republican Party is Trump's party. And frankly, I personally wish Trump would start a new party and fuck the Republican Party. If Trump took all the good conservatives from the Republican Party, plus all the disaffected Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard and independents like RFK Jr. And all these other people that were coming over, and start a new party, I think that would be great. I would teach these fake Republicans a lesson. So that's the story there. And now, just a little reminder of what Trump did as president. For all of those people who say, and especially the fake Republicans like Liz Cheney and all those lying sacks of shit, who say that Trump is going to destroy. Do you realize that what Trump accomplished as president would have been a dream, a fantasy, like fantasy football? It would have been a dream come true for any other Republican president. If any Republican president had accomplished what he did, all these fake Republicans would have been saying, it's a dream come true. He's the greatest president since Lincoln. He's the greatest president since George Washington. He belongs on Mount Rushmore, right? So I'm going to go through. I've got a little list here. I'm going to try and go really fast. Just a reminder. Just a reminder. Now, need I remind you that on the day that Trump got elected, before he even took office, when he was elected in 2016, there was the Trump bump. Who remembers? The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 18,332 points, a huge bump as soon as the market found out that we weren't going to have the queen of corruption, crooked Hillary, and they found out we had Trump coming in. The Dow Jones and the stock market went wild, and I expect that to happen again when Trump gets elected. But let's go down this list of what happened now. After that, what happened when he actually was in office? Let's see here. 3 Supreme Court judges we know, which of course led the way to a lot of good decisions, including Roe v. Wade. Historic tax cuts and deregulation. After 8 years of high unemployment and meager growth under President Obama, he cut taxes. He deregulated. I mean, that's a Ronald Reagan dream right there. He built up the military. Again, very Reagan-esque. He stood with Israel, unlike Biden and cackling communist Kamala. Trump stood with Trump. Israel loved Trump, man. He started building the wall, and he started coming up with ingenious ways to build more wall, but he was blocked. And need I remind you, who blocked the wall when Trump first got in office? Remember Rhino, Paul Ryan, who was the Speaker of the House. Remember, when Trump got elected, we had a Republican House and a Republican Senate. Paul Ryan was one of those never-Trumper assholes. He actually blocked. You might as well have had Nancy Pelosi. There was no difference between Nancy Pelosi and Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan blocked everything Trump was trying to do. We would have had the wall and all kinds of other stuff if Paul Ryan hadn't been a punk-ass bitch, fake rhino, fake Republican. So you can say you don't have a wall and you don't have some of the other things that Trump promised. You can thank Paul Ryan for that piece of shit. But anyway, despite all the blowback, he still got a lot of wall built. He withdrew from the Paris Climate Accord. Now, us conservatives know that that's a good thing, right? Because the climate accord was a bunch of bullshit, and it was going to hurt American jobs and hurt the economy. It wasn't going to do anything for a climate. It was a political stunt. Trump withdrew from the climate. That's great. That's a more Reagan-esque. Energy production and energy independence, please. That's what's causing high prices today. Trump gave approval for the Keystone Pipeline, the Dakota Access Pipeline, oil production from the Alaska National Wildlife Refuge. He granted more permits for mining of oil, gas, and coal from federal lands. In other words, and then in the end, we gained energy independence for the first time in decades. Are we forgetting about all this? He halted the increase in corporate average fuel economy, the CAFE standards. So Obama had imposed these harsh CAFE standards. Trump got rid of them, which led to more consumer choice and less expensive cars. He defeated ISIS as a land. Remember, ISIS had actually sort of become a land entity, not just a floating around terrorist entity, but he got rid of them. He got the Europeans to pay more for NATO. You know, all the left-wing globalists and the rhinos are going, oh, he's going to to attack NATO. We don't like NATO. Fuck NATO. NATO should be paying us to be in there, frankly. But anyway, he got the Europeans to pay more for that. He protected kids against false accusations on college campuses. Remember when that was a big deal? He got that going. Protected freedom of speech on college campuses. Protected boys and girls' bathrooms, locker rooms, and sport teams to the extent that he could. Unfortunately, Biden has unraveled all of that. He negotiated, of course, trade. He got rid of NAFTA. Why are we forgetting these great accomplishments? He got rid of NAFTA and got an entirely new trade agreement, right? He pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, which was the right thing to do, right? Because they were cheating. All they was doing, as usual, it was a rotten deal, like the old rotten deals that Democrats used to make with the Soviet Union, whereas we were the ones who kept our side, but they broke their side. So, I remember hearing when Trump withdrew, some of these Democrats were saying, well, it's better to have a bad deal than no deal at all. Actually, that's a stupid, ignorant thing to say, and it's 100% wrong. It is far worse to have a bad deal than no deal at all. At least with no deal at all, you're free to do what you need to do to protect yourself. If you go into a bad deal, you tie your own hands while the enemy does. Can you imagine a Democrat saying it's better to have a bad deal than no deal? These people are ignorant. Come on, man. And of course, Trump reformed the Department of Veterans Affairs. We all remember that. Criminal justice reform. So Trump has a laundry list of fantastic accomplishments, which were fantastic for liberty and freedom. And for anybody to say that he's a danger to democracy is just stupid and insane. Look, here's the bottom line. You have to vote for Trump. You just have to. Even if you don't like Trump, even if you don't like him personally. Have you ever watched this television show House about the Dr. House? He's like a total asshole. He's a total asshole. But whenever someone is sick, and they've got this incurable disease and they're going to die, he's like the only doctor in the hospital who seems to be able to cure these diseases that everybody else is stumped, and he figures it out. And then everybody's like, after they all yell at him, they're all like chagrined because he got it right. Trump is like House, right? It doesn't matter about his personality, or I personally like his personality, but everybody has different tastes. If you don't like his personality, you don't like his tweets, fuck all that. He is going to fix what's wrong with America, and Kamala is going to nail the final nail in the lid of the coffin of America. We cannot. Look, I have another video I'm going to put a link to in the description of this video. It's called Policy Matters. When you remove all personalities for a moment, if you were to just look at an unbiased list of policies, Republican policies, Trump's policies versus Kamala's policies, but you take the names out of it, take the personalities out of it, you show it to someone who doesn't know who Trump is and doesn't know who Kamala is, and you go down a policy list, just policy, foreign policy, immigration policy, economic policy, the whole bit, trade. You go down the list, Republican policy is far, far better, and Democrat policies are just destructive and anti-American. Trump, so the reason, that's why the left and the fake news media is drumming up true hate against Trump, because that's the only way they can win. You cannot win on policy. The left cannot win on policy. I mean, who wants to vote for open borders? Who wants to vote for inflation? Right? Who wants to vote for men beating up women in sports? Who wants to vote for men going into your daughter's bathroom in a school? Please. Nobody wants to vote for that shit. So the only tool that the Democrats have is stirring up hate and fear. And most people who don't like Trump, that's usually what it boils down to. They don't have any facts. They don't know anything about policies. They don't know anything. It's dumb hate and ignorant fear. And need I remind you that fear has always been what the Democrats use. That's why they invented the KKK from the days of the slavery, when the Republicans freed the slaves and the Democrats fought for slavery. Once we freed the slaves, they invented the KKK. They used fear to keep down the black man, and they have always used fear ever since. And that's what they're using. It's really no different. It's just a different tool, right? But back then it was idiots on horses and white robes, and today it's idiots at ABC News and the CNN and fake news. But it's different tool, different style, same tactic. Fear and division. Don't let them do it. You got to vote for. So that's why the Republican Party is Trump's party. Don't believe the fake rhino Republicans who claim they're voting for Harris. They're not real. They're fake. And those are policy reasons. Look at, these great. I'm going to put some links to a few things that show all the things that Trump accomplished. I'm going to put a link to my video called Policy Matters. Check them out. Check out our website. Please, I implore you, as a fellow American and your neighbor, put aside personal feelings of, personality and whatever. Save America. Vote for Trump. And I will see you in the next great American video. Adios, muchachos.